Hello, my name is Sarah and welcome to the very first episode of Careers Unplugged, where we explore the real stories behind professional life. But before we dive in, I want to give a big thank you to Balrig FM for letting us use their studio and for all their support in getting us set up today. Today, I am here with the founders of the Careers Advancement Network, Joe David and Rochelle, to discuss the vision behind our society. Guys, over to you. Please introduce yourself and tell us how it all began.
Rochelle, do you want to go first?
Okay, yeah, sure. So my name's Rochelle. So I kind of got interested in CanSoc through JD and also another one of the founders as well. And from there on, honestly, the vision sounded amazing. So, might as well get involved to try and help others who are in a similar position to us last year when we we're trying to apply for placement. Trying to get that insight across, help meet new people as well. And also just kind of like get a bit of experience in terms of leadership. So I joined as originally as partnerships lead and then got changed to a role of vice president and helping JD every day. Honestly, respect to you, man, for being able to cope with uni and being president is actually insane.
Just about coping. Emphasis on the coping. Yeah, as Rochelle said, CanSoc only started this year. So actually around almost this time last year, so 20th of April, myself, Josh, Tox and Devontae were on a Teams call just to catch up on how placement's going and also, the transition back to university. And we were really saying just how grateful we are to be on placement because it was a difficult process.
Yeah.
Applying for placements, dealing with rejections, not really knowing what we wanted to go into, what opportunities were out there for us, especially as a 12-month placement. A lot of what we were seeing were summer internships. And so kind of navigating that application process, we wanted to be able to support students who are going to be dealing with it over the course of this year. And Devontae was like, we should do talks and stuff and, just do lecture shout outs. And I was like, actually, no, I think one way that we could actually make this have a lasting impact on university is to actually institutionalize it and make it a proper society where we have the facilities available to be able to actually help students in the best way possible. So from there, we kind of elected positions and I was, blessed with the position as president, the one in charge of setting out the vision for the year, what the team should look like, and we just got to work from there on there. Then one by one, starting with Jade, all the way to Rochelle, we started electing all of the execs who would be in charge of what, all the specialist teams and making sure that we were raring and ready to go and hit the ground running come Freshers Week in October.
That's amazing, guys. It's wonderful to hear how much we've progressed as well. And we're almost a year into society as well.
Wow.
So definitely made incredible strides so far. So let's talk more about this year. So how have we worked towards achieving the society's aims?
So from the jump, we wanted to be able to make sure that each of the specialist teams were able to deliver events tailored to their faculties. Obviously, we cater to LUMS, finance, STEM, arts and social sciences, law, and life sciences. So we wanted to make sure that all students from whatever background were able to have access to careers and employability through the society, through the events that they put on. So making sure each team was specialized and equipped with the teams and the necessary facilities to be able to deliver. And so that was one thing. That was part of our Build Your Careers initiative, which was to ensure all students were equipped with training and skills to be able to succeed in intern and graduate applications. And then we also had raising awareness of opportunities available to students. So that was through our social media platforms, through our WhatsApp channels, through our emails, the amazing CanSoc newsletter, the day in the lives that Lucy and her teams were doing, and then also the events that we have where we bring on alumni and different industries to speak to students about where their degree can take them. And then finally making sure that all students from diverse backgrounds, so collaborating with all the cultural societies as well to get in front of them and show them, this is where your degree can take you. These are the opportunities available to you, and these are the resources you can use to excel. So that whether it's through collaborations with other societies or the placement mentorship program, these have been all the vehicles by which we've sought out to achieve those objectives, and we've over exceeded.
Definitely over exceeded. I remember when I first joined, you were telling me how, like, on the Instagram, we had more followings than followers. And now, right now, we have a crazy amount of followers. And that's obviously, like, thanks to all the massive events we put. I think the best in terms of, like, the societies that we've hired mainly just from people, like, who've done a placement. I think having that experience, people who actually done a placement is so good, because being able to give personalized advice, and also just kind of like having that buddy support as well. I think that's really nice, being able to kind of relate with one another. 100%. I think that's really been like a standout, just being able to kind of relate on experiences as well.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the placement mentorship program, especially 100%. Having mentors who've done a placement year just come back from their placement year to pair up with second years who are looking for a placement year. It's the first thing of its kind, and this mentorship program really has had such an incredible impact. I mean, actually today, on my way to the studio, my mentee called me and she was like, I secured a placement.
Oh, come on! It's brilliant!
Crazy, incredible timing. But honestly, well done to her. Like, been working for the past few weeks, helping her prep for like assessment centers, interviews, getting her CV right, doing all of this. And yeah, it's honestly incredible to to see the fruits of her labor and her hard work. And, it's the beauty of it. As mentors, we want to see them do well. We want to see them do better than what we did, have an easy experience like what we had. That's the point of it. So, she's done really well for herself to secure her, 12 months finance placement. So
that's amazing.
Big
Shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Yeah, because I feel like with me in second year, I almost felt like I was the only person like pursuing an industrial placement, because all of my friends, they were on 3-year courses and they didn't really have an idea of what they wanted to do in the future in terms of like career-wise. So I definitely feel like this mentorship scheme is definitely one of a kind and will definitely propel this society forward, especially going to next year where we have a whole new exec. And we have a lot to look forward to. So I'm very proud to be part of this society. And that's kind of why I wanted to set up this podcast in the beginning, because we know a lot of our members sometimes they don't have time to go to our events, or they're dealing with their own personal situations. So it's nice that they can just kind of put on their headphones and kind of listen to us speak about, how to make the most out of the application process, and I guess in some ways we can be a shoulder to cry on, like we've all been in a situation where we're struggling to get through like CVs and cover letters. We don't really know where to start. So we're basically here to help.
100%.
So yeah. Can we also just talk about the collaborations that we've done in this year, and how have they helped to enhance our society's influence and our reputation?
I think you have more insight on this. You've been the one who's been controlling all the admin, honestly. It's actually insane.
The collaborations this year has been the best part.
Yeah.
One of our key, so obviously our key strategic objectives was to raise awareness of career opportunities available to students. And so through this, we wanted to collaborate with all the careers-driven societies, the cultural societies, and also the careers teams here at Lancaster. From LUMS to FAST to Central Careers, we wanted to make sure that we were cultivating that careers community here on campus. Rather than it, being one society doing something here, another society doing something here, and having, limited impact because students have to pick and choose as to who to go to. Why don't we bring everything together and have, bigger and better events rather than competing? Because at the end of the day, we're doing it for the students. So why not join forces, join resources, and have an amazing event? And we've seen this throughout the year, and it's been so beautiful to see. The impact has been incredible. We've had, their finance team has, embodied it the best. you know, from our CanSoc finance team to Lewis finance team, and then obviously EconSoc, collaborating on all the events, all the workshops that they've been putting on this year, walking all the students literally from CVs and cover letters to, you know, psychometric tests, high view interviews, and how to, you know, make the most of the application process. Yeah, that's been incredible. Obviously, LUMS, they've collaborated with Women in Business, they've collaborated with 180 Degrees Consulting, and have had amazing events, you know, that case study workshop. Then obviously we had the Women Pizza and Prosecco evening, which is incredible.
That was a great event. That was a great event, honestly. The turnout was amazing.
I think that was one of my favorite events.
Yeah, the turnout was amazing. The pizza was amazing.
Thank you, Enterprise. Shout out, Enterprise.
That was honestly really insightful, honestly.
I don't know why. I was surprised that Enterprise is so women dominated as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's fantastic.
No, it is. I mean, Enterprise, they've been actually actively working to improve gender equality within the workplace, you know, and especially it comes with representation, you know, making sure that the senior leaders there, you know, are able to represent, you know, the graduates coming in that are female, so that, you know, you need to see it to kind of believe it. And so them being able to work on that has been incredible. And obviously doing things like the Women in Business Pizza and Prosecco event is, you know, that step forward towards improving gender equality in the workplace. And, you know, it was amazing because I had so many of the girls that attended come up to me and ask about careers with Enterprise. In fact, again today, I don't know why it's so happy today, you know, a lovely lady from the second year was asking me about placements with Enterprise, even today. So it's so amazing to see, you know, things that come from the back of that are great. But that was one of my favorite collabs. And then we also had the Apprentice program with Enactus. That's been an amazing collaboration, and in fact we've collaborated with all the LUMS societies again. So we had EconSoc judging 1 week, entrepreneurship judging, Women in Business judging. So it's great to be able to involve them and, you know, collaborate. And I think the pinnacle of it was the International Women's Day event that we had last week as well. All of us collaborating to support Women in Business Society, to make sure it's a great event. You know, each of us working and collaborating to get our speakers for the day, making sure the event was well run, and making sure that students were able to network with those female industry leaders as well. And again, it's all about representation as well. So we really wanted to make sure that all of these leaders were able to be in front of them and also network with them on the day. And you can't forget the mixer as well.
Yeah, the mixer. The mixer was good, I think. That bingo was quite funny. Just being able to, like, obviously, you don't know some of the society members as well, but being able to kind of, like, mix, like, kind of do the bingo with everyone. I think that was really good. Just kind of get to know everyone. Have a few laughs and jokes, you know, away from the serious side. I think that was a really good, like, de-stressor event, actually.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially during this essay period.
Yeah, 100%.
Lent time has been ridiculous. It's flown by, you know, and so it's nice to be able to have that evening to relax and network and learn as well. So
it's nice to have that peace away from the madness.
Yeah.
You know. So I know you guys actually did industrial placements in your second year.
We did.
If you could think back, what advice would you give to students just starting out in the real world who want to start, like, a strong foundation for their careers?
I think for me is, like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, they are fully aware that you are still a university student, you know. If you don't have that much knowledge, it's understandable, because again, you haven't even completed your degree. So I think at the beginning I was, like, extremely shy. I was so awkward to talk to. Like, the others actually took entertainment in how awkward I was. I'm sure Sarah remembers this.
Yeah.
But I was so awkward, and then I was so scared to ask questions that I would rather just kind of be stuck on my desk and, like, kind of figure out myself.
Yeah.
So I think placement was obviously, like, a kind of massive confidence boost, because, you know, you're gonna get it eventually. You just have to trust the process. And also placement, I think it was really good in terms of time management. I think that was, like, one of my key skills, like being able to stick to that 9 to 5 day, or in our case, like 9:30 to 6. But, like, just being able to stick to that time, then going home and de-stress. I think that was, like, a really good thing about placement, because Whereas at uni, work is always on your mind 24/7. No matter the time, it could be 7 a.m., it could be 7 p.m., it could be midnight. Essentially, you're always thinking about work. But I think for placement, it's like really enjoy the freedom of being able to like kind of de-stress in the evenings and just having that routine, being able to like go to the gym or just meeting up with friends. I think that was the best thing about placement. Honestly, just enjoy the freedom and like don't feel like you have to work all the time because, again, you are a placement student. They're not going to expect so much from you. As long as you get your work done, stick to the hours and enjoy your free time because let's be real, the adult world is kind of scary in terms of like limited annual leave. I think that took a while to get used to, right? 25 days a year.
Wait, you have to book freedom? Wow.
Yeah, exactly. 25 days a year was nothing. I remember like my friends had 4 weeks holidays. I was there like grinding. But yeah, honestly, I think placement, just enjoy the freedom of what you have. Don't feel like you have to overwork yourself just so that, obviously meet your expectations, but at the same time, be realistic. You are still a human being.
No, definitely. That's really, really good advice. I'd say similar. I'd say, yeah, make the most of it. But what I mean by that is use it as an opportunity to grow during the year. The key way to do this is being proactive. Like not being afraid to make mistakes. So say, for example, an email will come across and you're CC'd in it. It's directed to your manager, but you're copied into it. And it's maybe asking for, a little bit of research into this company or what our competitors are doing here. How about you take the initiative to be like, doing that research initially, create a little document for your manager, forward it to your manager, be like, hey, I was copied into this email. This is the information that we have. This is our market share. This is our percentage. This is what our competitors are doing. This is what we're doing. This is what sets us apart. Just a little quick document. Maybe it's a 2-pager. That gives your manager the edge, the peace of mind, going into whatever meeting that they need to go into to discuss following that email. And again, it shows them that you've got that initiative. And allows you to learn. You might make mistakes. I mean, probably 90% chance you'll make a mistake. But that's the point of it, right? The point of that internship is to make those mistakes, to learn and grow from those mistakes as well. But being proactive will really, really make you make the most of it. And also chip away at that fear of making mistakes, chip away at that shyness that Rochelle was talking about, and allows you to ask questions as well, because your manager will be able to comment on that piece of work, and it's a discussion point to hash out any questions you might have going forward, on that same project, to be able to perform to the best of your ability. So that's definitely one thing that I wish I did more of when I was at placement, 100%. So that's why I'm advising on that.
Yeah, I think in regarding to the shyness, especially if it's your first full-time job as a placement, you're gonna come in there thinking I don't know what to do, you don't really know what you're supposed to be expecting, So I feel like the best advice I can especially give is just keep an open mind in terms of the opportunities and the networking chances that come to you. I would definitely say also the support that you receive on your placement, utilize it, Because if I didn't have one-to-ones with my manager, honestly, I would just burn out. I would just have such imposter syndrome. So sometimes it's really nice to kind of vent your frustration out to your manager, and then he can actually give you constructive advice because they've been in that position before. We've all started out somewhere. So I feel it is really important for students to know internships or even grad schemes. It's solely a learning and development opportunity. They don't expect you to kind of come in, knowing everything.
Absolutely.
I think one of the best advice that I can give, and I found this from a YouTube video, is just be an information sponge. Because I remember, and you probably remember too, Rochelle, in our first week at Sustainable Fitch, we had so much we had to learn. In terms of ESG, so just kind of even writing down notes and then kind of going over them at the weekend.
It felt like a lecture, honestly.
Honestly,
yeah. It was we were given a little notebook to write in.
Yeah.
And I remember writing so much. I was like, what am I doing with this information? It's not even going in my head. So in the end, I just kind of sat there. It generally felt like a lecture of 2 weeks of lecturing.
Bruh.
It was good. It was good. It's very informative, of course.
Yeah.
But like, I think that actually contributed to my first month of burnout because I was commuting every day. My commute was so far,
Oh
and so
my
I was like physically tired. I was socially tired. I was mentally tired. As soon as we started hybrid working, I took the most advantage. You
Oh
know?
my gosh.
Like that lion never felt so good.
Yeah. And if anyone's thinking about applying to Sustainable Fitch, we do have a equipment reimbursement scheme. If that didn't convince you, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
Wow.
I literally used the entire reimbursement, my entire setup at home.
No way.
Yeah, of course.
I was
Maxed it out.
maxed that out.
Yeah, my setup never looked so clean.
Mine was the opposite. We didn't have any like formal training period. It was just hit the ground running. I remember, I'll never forget, in my first week as an intern, I was like to my manager, like, when's the actual work coming in? Like, can I get more work? I kept asking for more work. I was like, you know, it's quiet. I'm not getting any work.
Yeah.
She was like, don't worry. Just
You're gonna
wait.
get it.
Just wait.
And it hit you.
And it hit. When it hit, I was like, oh
I'm
my,
drowning.
what have I
Why
asked
did I
for?
even ask?
Literally,
Wow.
honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, I was like, careful what you wish for. This, yeah,
Literally.
I was swamped. But honestly, it was so good to just be thrown into the deep end, because that's literally how you learn, you know, from experience and getting involved and getting stuck in. So I'm grateful for it. But yeah, boy, I was
You just
not ready.
couldn't wait to go home some days, right?
Yeah, honestly, I just watching the clock ticking down. I was like, oh my gosh.
Literally, as soon as it hit 6 o'clock, I'm
Bruh,
out of here.
outside.
Laptop slammed. You could hear my laptop slamming some days. I was like so done with work. And then I remember my manager, because he sat right next to me. He was looking at me. He was like, "You ready to go home?" I was like, "Yeah, of course."
Have you not seen the time?
Literally.
Honestly.
Oh. Yeah, but honestly, placements are so fun.
Oh yeah, 100%. I actually do miss it. So nice. I miss the paycheck.
Yeah.
Uni
Honestly,
life is so expensive. Why am I spending so much money on spa?
it's ridiculous.
Like,
Crazy.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. The inflation is crazy as well.
Honestly.
I come back, Sultans has like upped their prices so much.
Sultans, it used to. I remember when it was like £5. Now it's like £20. It's crazy.
Do you guys remember when they used to give you free chips?
They give you free chips.
Yeah, they don't give you free chips anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They only give free water. Shout out.
Shout out
remember
to
to
the
keep
Cat
hydrated.
Salsa Gangster, please sponsor us. We love you, really.
They actually do sponsor us.
Yeah, they do sponsor
Oh,
us,
fair
yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Sultans.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, guys, moving forward to the next academic year, what are our top priorities for the society?
Next academic year.
Yeah. So, what kind of events do we have coming up?
Yeah, so next academic year, obviously that is now Sophia and Red in charge, leading the charge.
Woo.
Very excited for them, and you know, obviously we've had the onboarding meetings and everything, the handover training.
And it's good they've been on the exec this year, so they know how
Exactly.
the society runs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now it's just about growing. It's just about growth. And what does that mean? That means making sure that we're consolidating the society in terms of the membership that we have, the members that we have, and also the partners that we have, the resources that we provide students. So consolidating everything that we've done this year, tying in loose ends in terms of making sure that we're more streamlined in how we operate, making sure everyone in the exec, obviously we're a big exec, and again this is the first society to have such a large exec on this scale, but making sure that everyone is playing their part to the fullest, so that you know it's easier when everyone's doing their job, everyone's playing their role. You know, that's how efficiency works. And so making sure that everyone knows what they're doing, they're clear on their expectations and able to perform well. And that will then allow us to have the bigger and better events that we're having next year. So these, to Rochelle, Sophia and Red have planned for next year to hit the ground running with obviously Freshers Week and the big Freshers event. That they want to make bigger and better from this year, and then following that to start the placement mentorship program again, but have more mentors on board as well, so that we can help more students get on placement than we've achieved this year. And then following that, they want to have the CanSoc Expo following that as well. So that's where we want to bring all the big industry leaders from all the different industries, from consultancy to banking to management to marketing to, you know, civil service and law. So we want to bring all of these different employers onto campus for the big Cancer Expo as well. So that's the initial big plan for Michaelmas term.
I'm actually so excited to see how the society's going to be next year. I'll be following all the Instagram.
Honestly.
I can't
All the
wait.
notifications on the social medias.
Honestly, yeah. If I come back to Lancaster, I'm definitely going to come back. It's the first thing I'll be asking. How's Cancel doing?
Literally.
Yeah.
So can I ask also, guys, what kind of plans do you have for your future, like post-graduation?
So my kids have actually secured a graduate roles. So I'm going back to Sustainable Fitch actually. So I actually can't wait to go back there. I had a great time at placement. And then, yeah, hopefully in the end, I can actually move out of my parents' house. Trying to afford the rent in London. But yeah, honestly, I'm actually just looking forward to it. The only way out is upwards, hopefully. But yeah, I just can't wait to go back down to London. That's where, you know, where my heart is, the city. Being able to kind of, you know, get all that food, you know. What is, like, there's nothing here in the north. It's actually crazy. I remember coming here first year, the biggest adjustment was adjusting to, like, there was nothing near me. Because I came from, like, a busy town, like, where everything was so convenient. To here, the only thing convenient is Spa, pretty much. So, yeah. I think,
and Central.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So the future is just, you know, trying to, you know, get more network opportunities, just kind of hone my skills, more applicable skills, kind of see. Honestly, I don't have much of a plan. I think for me is like I just kind of live life to the fullest, you know. I don't really like having a plan. It kind of stresses me out because if I don't follow that plan, right, I'm like, oh no, what do I do? So I'd rather just kind of not do it so spontaneously, but obviously have like a bit of freedom, you know. If some things don't go your way, don't go your way, you know, happens for a reason. So I think for me is like just hoping, you know, enjoy my job in the future.
What about you, Joe David?
Going back to Enterprise. So it's great. I'm very excited. I'm not going to stay at Cancel forever.
Bet you wish though.
Contrary to some opinions. So I'm going back to Enterprise. So I'm actually traveling for a little bit. So going to stay with my family in Paris for a while. Just chilling, enjoying life in Paris. Traveling to other countries as well. You know, just enjoying life after this crazy year. And then going back to Enterprise to again start my graduate career. So I'm very, very excited, and then work my way up to CEO. So
CEO.
Yo. Remember me in your acceptance speech, okay?
One day I'll be opening up the news, be like, Joe David. I'm like, oh, I remember this guy.
we're gonna be locked in. We're locked in for life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did a podcast with him. Wow.
One day I'll be trading stocks with this guy instead.
Oh. Well, that's amazing, guys. It sounds like the future is looking very bright for the two of you. Yeah, so just as we close up, thank you again, guys, so much for joining me and for sharing your insights into placement and why exactly members should join the Careers Advancement Network. And to our listeners, keep tuning in for more episodes where we'll offer even more perspectives into the world of work. And this is to help you secure internships and graduate schemes. If you'd like to know more, you can contact us at Careers Advancement Network on all social media platforms if you have any questions. And that's it for us. Until next time, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.